Namaste, beloveds. This is Valerie Ames, aka Mother with Wisdom, and this is going to be a video that is dedicated to the journey that I've been on and what I consider friendship and relationship and my identity to those words. And I want to start it off with some things that I've placed upon my wall. And so I'm going to be reading them. And I'll begin with um, a quote. And that quote is: "Knowledge is like a garden. If it is not cultivated, it cannot be harvested." And this is by Guinea, Guinea. And next, I'm going to give the 9 virtues. There are really 10 of them, but I don't know what happened to the last. I just got the 9, so I'll give you the 9. And again, these are the virtues. I must control my thoughts. That's number 1. 1, I must control my thoughts. 2, I must control my actions. 3, I must have and show devotion to purpose. 4, I must have faith in the ability of the teacher to teach me the truth. And let me just say, for me, the teacher is the eternal I that resides within. The Holy Spirit, God, however you want to term that. So let me say that again after stating what that teacher is for me. Number 4, I must have faith in the ability of the teacher to teach me the truth. Number 5, I must have faith in my ability to assimilate the truth. 6, I must have faith in my ability to wield the truth. 7, I must be free from resentment under the experience of persecution. That's a deep one, beloveds. Number 8, I must be free from resentment under the experience of wrongdoing. Another deep one. Number 9, I must cultivate the ability to distinguish right from wrong. And it goes into a further definition of what right and wrong is. That which is loved from that which is hated. And next, the 7 keys of ascension. Number 1, and these deal with the chakras as well, beloveds. Number 1, accept your divinity. Number 2, do not believe in loss or gain. Number 3, not my will, but thine. Number 4, forgive all betrayals. Number 5, view the ego impersonally. Number 6, have faith in the support of the invisible realms. And finally, number 7, accept your death. And those are the virtues and the qualities that are now defining what I call friendship, relationship. This is what I am embodying within myself. And this is what I will be accepting and seeking in those who I'm going to bring closer to me. And in saying this, I just want to say that this journey of self-inquiry for me has been the most profound path that I have found, and it resonates with me on such a deep level that I just want to bring clarity to um, my presence and my presentation of the truth that I have received and the faith that I have in the truth that I have received. And again, this goes to um, how I'm getting ready to proceed. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with that. I just want to say this. On my Facebook page, I have in the past, it just called to me daily. There wasn't a time I woke up with getting on Facebook. I went to sleep hating that I had to get off of Facebook. And there was just so much focus given to that atmosphere and that environment, and looking at the voice that was in me and what I was sharing. And upon that journey and upon journaling, because that's what Facebook is for me, a public journal, I have encountered many different beings with many different mindsets, with many different ways, on many different paths, with many different ways of relating. And it has all been a teaching experience for me. And having faith that I am spirit led, which I've always felt, even as a child, before I could put that into terminology. I truly believe that each step, each connection, each person that I have encountered, each entity, each expression of the eternal I, whether they were expressing from a point of their ego or from the place of the eternal I, served as a teacher, served as a tool for the divine spirit, for to help me and enable me to get to where I am at this point. So I hold no resentment, I hold no grudges, I hold no accountability, because in understanding and understanding the depth and the connection of truly being the eternal I, or being God, and not just expressing God, but being God, it empowers you in a way that nothing of this world can. And in having faith in that, I will share this. Some of the friends that I have encountered along the way, I have let go of. I have learned what I need to learn. And so, without attachments, I've let them go. And there are some whom I have kept close. And they may have relationships, friendships, dealings with some of those whom I have let go of. But I don't judge them by who is teaching them, by who they are associating with. That's not my place, not my role, and it's not the will of the divine I. I am spirit led. Everything that comes from me comes from that spirit. And in everything that has happened within the last year regarding my own true identity, because this has been a journey, a spiritual journey, searching for who am I and the truth of that and the depth of that. And in discovering my true identity as the eternal I, everything that has came from that place within me is for everyone. And I hold no attachments to them. Not the words, not the feelings, not the concepts, any of it. And in understanding that and reaching that place of peace, you realize all is one. No matter who relays or who shares the fruit, the seed came from one place, from one source. And the intention of the seed was to bear fruit and to feed many. And looking back on things, it has. The seeds that were given to me through my voice, through my feelings, through my heart content, through my ego even, have been free and freed. And in understanding that this is within the scope of the eternal I, it only deepens my connection with sharing more seeds. It only deepens my connection to stay close to the teachers and the teachings and to understand that I am not the only one with seeds. There are many, all of us have seeds. And with seeds, you have to let them go. You can't hold on to them. If you hold on to them, they won't reach their full potential. And if you identify the seeds as yours, then you look at what fruit they bear also as yours. And you look at whether a person receives it or not, or is fed from it or not. You attach success or failure to that. None of that is in the will of the eternal I. All of those attachments come from the mind and the self-identity that is developed in the mind. And the only identity that I have is the eternal I. And what I'm getting ready to do now is to cultivate that knowledge. Because as I read, you have to cultivate the knowledge in order to reap a harvest from it. And so cultivating the identity is going to allow me to reap the harvest of the identity. It's going to allow me to divest all of the egoic claim, all of the self identity that is separate from the eternal I within myself. And it is the contrast that is the most beautiful thing to behold, because within that contrast is the understanding and the feeling of returning back home, of reclaiming your truth, and of being one with that truth, not separate from it. So, one of the particular individuals who I'm speaking of um, is Todd Medina or Medina. And he has started Soulology, and it's a beautiful platform. And Todd and I have had a connection that goes back a ways. And when we were both seeking the truth of our identity, the connection, and that is what he is facilitating with many, many, many others who also have reached the point where they are able to speak of the I am, their journey there, and their ability to help others to reach that point. And being an empath and knowing Facebook as I know it, as I have come to know it, as it has been shown to me and demonstrated to me by those that I had put faith in, I understand that because you see the connection that I have with Soulology and with Todd, and he has friendships with those that friendships, relationships, partnerships, understandings, however you choose to term that, with those, some of those that I have let go of. I don't hold those relationships against Todd. And I'm not trying to influence or get back or make a point, or has nothing to do with those that I have let go or walked away from or just said peace, peace and love. I am in a beautiful, beautiful state of consciousness that it has taken me a very long time to get to. And it has been a very, very arduous and painful journey, because that is what life is. And that is what the mind creates in order to be empowered as the self. But when you gain the wisdom that the mind is separate from the eternal I that is present within you and that observes and sees everything from a place of ultimate detachment, because it understands this is the journey that you need to be upon in order to tap into your true identity. You need the contrast in order to make the choice of who you truly are. You can choose to be that vision of the mind that is constantly changing, constantly needs contrast, constantly needs struggle, constantly needs the duality that will bring about suffering just to get you to understand that this is what you need. And you can choose that, or you can choose the reality that is the truth and that does not change, that has no beginning and has no ending, that has been you in every lifetime, in every incarnation, that does not have or view time as the mind self does, as the ego self does. The physical eyes are not the realm of the eternal eye. It has a much, much more higher vision, much more truer vision. You know how we have TV now that's high definition? Oh, baby. That eternal eye has the highest definition. It misses nothing. Macrocosmic, microcosmic, multidimensional, past gender. It is the all, and it is the nothing, all at the same time. And it is not a great mystery. It requires great mastery upon you to awaken to that consciousness, knowing that there is no consciousness beyond it. And consciousness is a man-made word that we're using to describe what the eternal I is. But don't be fooled by the words, because it cannot be expressed with words. Words can only point this way and that way to give you an imagery or an understanding or an understanding. The only way to truly attain the wisdom of the eternal I is through experiencing it for yourself. And each experience will be different. That is why no one can tell you exactly how to do it, how to get there, how to awaken. Each individual can only explain how they did it. And within the context of a collective, that those ways are confirmed as experiences, as truth. And it is through those ways that you'll find direction. Because those who have awoken to what self-mastery really means who have awoken to there is no separation of the light within me. I am that light. I am that unconditional love. I am that eternal knowing and seeing. And the more I connect with that, the more I interweave and intertwine what I call self-awareness into that awareness, the more change will take place, not only within myself, but outside of myself. Just as I say I am spirit-led, and I allow spirit to lead me, spirit will now be the one that manifests. Spirit will now be the one who is teaching. It will not be Valerie or Mother with Wisdom or I say this or I say that. There will be a checking in process. And the more comfortable I become with the consciousness, with the true consciousness of the eternal I, the deeper the seeds will be that I can share. And I look at that as this is my purpose. This is the function of the eternal I inside of me at this moment. I am the tool. I am the expression. I am. Not maybe, not sometimes, not if it pleases someone or displeases someone. I am. And that is what I wanted to share about that. And moving forward, I just want to get into some of the cards to see what the cards say. And again, this has been a wonderful, wonderful journey for me. And I woke up with something this morning, and that was the scene from Roots. When Kunta Kinte's father held him up and said, "Behold, the only thing greater than you." And I sat there with this and said, "Okay, Mama," because that's what I call the eternal I, Mama. "Okay, Mama, why did you give this to me? What do you want me to see from it? I've used this before. You've given it to me before. What do I need to see in this now? What in everything that I have received lately? What did I see? What do I see now that I didn't see before?" And as I became more quiet, what came to me was this: how can you say, "Behold, the stars, the heavens, the universe itself," and say that it is greater than the eternal I within you. And what was given to me was this. This I right now is just awakening to itself. Everything that is in the heavens, the stars that are our ancestors, they've already mastered this awakening. And that is why it is considered greater than yourself. Because that journey for them has already been completed. And in our framework of time, how old is the sun? How old are the stars? How old are the planets? We only have stories that we follow that give us a glimpse of how those ancestors came to their own understanding of I am, their own self-mastery over their minds, how they knew themselves to be in this world, but that it was a false world. It was a world created by the mind and that they needed to awaken. And I have been using the Egyptian um, panthology or stories. And it has been giving me a direct link to the eternal I. And it all began with know thyself. And that is the most profound statement, quest, journey pointing direction that was given to us. And nothing else, nothing else matters other than arriving to that awakening. And I'm just going to get into the cards now. 3320. I'm going to start with the Medicine Woman deck. And we'll see what we get from there. And again, I will be, like I said, I've been saying I'm doing this and I'm doing that. We'll see where Spirit leads me. I'll put it that way, okay? We have a card. Whew. Okay. Okay. The card we have is number 17, and it is Star, and it is called the Grandfathers. And I'll show it. And the star itself is up top there. There we go. And let's see what the card says. And this is one of the major arcanas. And it is on 111, 111, which is a 3, beloveds, which is 2019. Let's see here. 111. There we go. 17, the grandfathers. Number and meaning. 17, ascension. Traditional name in the regular tarot deck is the star. The medicine woman energy of this card is the grandfathers who have gone before us. I have notes here. Okay. Affirmation. A light shines forth like a star from the heavens, revealing the wisdom of the ancient ones. I rest on the sturdy foundation of knowledge that comes from a past wholly lived. And holy is spelled Wholly, and it is a combination of the word whole and holy. And I feel supported. And the notes that I have on here is Spirit of White Wolf. And Spirit of White Wolf was the grandmother, actually, that came to me in the beginning of my journey from my Native American ancestors. And that is one of the ways that I identify with a lot of the friends whom I have come in contact with. It's been through that wolf spirit. As I spoke of Todd Medina, he is my brother wolf, and we have identified with each other that way since the beginning. So this is just more confirmation for me. But let me move forward. The card speaks. We are a new hope within you. The old patterns of interference have been broken. You have reached a new level of communication with the ancestral energy of self. As a result, you can now experience renewed health and vitality. Through meditation, you have found your roots, your source of cosmic nourishment. We are the grandfathers. We have walked on the ground upon which you now walk. You are beginning to realize the meaning of our lives and are able to continue in our footsteps. We will begin to teach you of your spiritual heritage, for you carry within you a particular way of walking on the sacred path. It is your destiny to carry on from where we have led you. You drink from the waters of earth and now from those of the heavens as well. You are able to take our highest vision and bring it into reality. You who have a foot in both worlds are the only one able to lift the consciousness of the human beings once again to a level of hope. It is you who can build anew. It is you who can walk in beauty within the created world. And let me see. Powerful is the ability to give hope. The greatest of all gifts is what I wrote. Explore now the beauty of your bare soul. This soul you have found in your spiritual search. Take time now to concentrate on the relationship of yourself and nature, yourself and God, the great spirit within all. We will help you. We will offer what we have learned, that you might learn from our experiences. Speak with us, and we will answer. Self-questioning. Do I know the struggles of my ancestors? Of what value are they to me? Exercise. Find out about the people who were native to your area of the country. What was their relationship to the land? What were the expressions of their spirit? How can you honor them? Meditation. Meditate on a crystal, quartz or geode, a very old part of the earth. Crystals are great receivers and transmitters of energy. They are communication devices. Hold one in your hand and let it speak to you. Look into it and probe its mysteries. Offer through it your prayer to the Great Spirit and a thanksgiving for the native people who first walked your land. Perhaps the grandfathers will come to you. Visualization. Look upon a star, seeing a ray of light reaching from it to yourself. Travel on that beam of light to the star. Open all of your physical and spiritual senses to receiving its beauty and energy. Wow. Take its light back into yourself when you are finished with your journey and visualize yourself as a shining star or crystal. Light up the whole world of your being. Notice it didn't say light up the whole world. It said light up the whole world of your being. And like I said, I'm the connection with what I woke up with this morning. Behold the only thing greater than you. And what this card is just blowing my mind. And the astrological sign is Aquarius. And of course, this is the Aquarian age. Foods. Try the foods of your ancestors. Check your library and your relatives for information. How do these foods affect your state of mind? The ancestors. There have been many worlds. Each world has evolved like a person through successive stages of development, shedding one body after another until all that remains is light. Behold the only thing greater than you. When you wish upon a star, your thoughts are being projected to ancient beings whose consciousness have so brightened that they are no longer in need of embodiment. Each star glows with its development. The blue jewel of Earth now seeks to shine even brighter by increasing the vibration of itself and its being. So we were just given the purpose of why we're here on this planet. Why the I am is here expressed in each individual and collective. And let me read that again. The blue jewel of Earth now seeks to shine even brighter. So understand Gaia is alive and that she has shed many times her body. She has been a world many times. And in each time, she's looking to shine brighter and brighter. And we are part of that, as we are part of the I am. And our purpose is intertwined with hers. There's one, only one, to shine. The blue jewel of Earth now seeks to shine even brighter by increasing the vibration of itself and its beings. Earth Mother ascends into the heavens by aligning the minds of her humans with other brilliantly glowing planets of love and peace. And that is why, beloveds, all of the planets, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Pluto, Nibiru, all of them. That is why all are connected to the earth. That is why all affect and influence the moon itself, the sun itself. Earth Mother ascends into the heavens by aligning the minds of her humans, minds, consciousness. Okay? By aligning the conscious minds or consciousness of her human with other brilliantly glowing planets of the consciousness of love and peace. She asks you to look up Lighten up. Put yourself in perspective. Woo! Put your I am self in perspective by waking up to it and you being one with it, not separate from it. She asks you to look up, lighten up, put yourself in perspective. Take note of all the lives you have lived and all who have lived before you. Each one has contributed its share to the spark and sparkle of the planetary field. Allow the learning of those who have mastered life to raise you now. Take the hand of the wise ones who lead you to the wisdom of the ages. Their knowledge is all around you. And that is that card. And one of the forces that is guiding me is that of Isis right now. And I am eternally grateful. Eternally grateful. I'm going to get a card now from the Wisdom of the Animals. And we'll see what we get. Gorilla. Okay. And I know I've pulled this card before. Take the time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. And this is Gorilla. And let's see what else Gorilla has for us. 55, which is 10. Take the time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. The bond between family members can gradually decay and become stultified unless it's continually nourished with loving attention. And one of the simplest yet most elegant ways of showing that attention is to listen compassionately to those you care about the most. Otherwise, you risk taking them for granted, assuming that they'll always be there and that they know you love them. Take time to have a conversation, starting with relative superficial topics, then moving into more in-depth personal themes, adding your own tidbits, but primarily focus on what the other person has to say. Show your spouse, partner, children, parents, or elders you love by listening and really hearing what they have to say about how they feel and what they think. This not only generates a deeper, more lasting affection between you and the other person, but far exceeds glibly saying, I love you, with no real feeling behind it. People are constantly changing and evolving, adding new experiences and insights. Who someone is today, while built on a foundation of a core self, changes and is continuously elaborating on that core self. Find the newness and freshness in those you love, which includes both your biological and marital family, as well as your close friends whom you've informally adopted as family. Associations, intelligence, peacefulness, family, strength, nobility, generosity, gentleness, calmness, vegetarianism, loyalty, patience, dexterity, steadiness, scrutiny, and conversation are all from the spirit of the gorilla. 4945. I'm going to pull now from the Doreen Virtue deck, Life Purpose. heart's desires. And let's see what we get from that. The angels are supporting, guiding, and protecting you as your dream becomes reality. Heart's desires. And that's a very beautiful card. And let's see what she has to say. Heart's desires. 49, which is 13, which is also 4. Here we go. What does your heart desire? This is the question that the angels ask of you. You are at an important juncture in your life when it's time to make decisions about what you want. No one, not even God and the angels, can make them for you. Spend time alone in quiet contemplation and consider your heart's desires, as many options are open to you now. The great news is that once you've clearly pinpointed your deepest desires and know that you deserve them, the doors of opportunity all easily open for you. You'll dance in partnership with your intuition. First, listening to the inner voice, and next, taking action upon that guidance. Let the Holy Spirit lead you. Learn to identify that Holy Spirit as the voice of the eternal I, as the will, as that force. Although your path may involve some work and tenacity, it will be smooth and peaceful, just like gardening. That's how we all started with, you have to cultivate that ground in order to reap a harvest. You, like everyone, deserve to be happy. This is God's will for us all. Your happiness uplifts the entire world and radiates healing energy wherever you go. So as you know yourself to be God, you bless everyone with that presence because you're letting that shine from you. You're letting that lead you. You're letting that interact with everyone else, not your mind, not your ego, not your feelings, not your judgments. Okay, let's move on to Archangel Raphael Healing Deck. And this too is by Doreen Virtue. Okay, where did that card go? Okay, can't find that card. Let me put my glasses on to see if I see it. Because with my own two eyes, I can't see it. Okay, still can't find it. All right, maybe that's not the one then. Okay, this one is up, so we'll take it. Sunlight. Dear Archangel Raphael, please help me enjoy the benefits of sunshine in safe and healthy ways. And let's see what the book has to say. Sunlight. Sunlight. And that is 92, which is an 11, which is a 2. But 11 is its own power number, so master number. 92. And this is what the card says. Sunlight. The sun's rays have natural, curative power, and although balancing your exposure is essential to avoid sun damage, there are also numerous scientifically verified health benefits. This card may be guiding you to visit a sunny locale or invest in a full spectrum lighting device. Archangel Raphael is prescribing vitamin D in its most natural form for your health. Possible specific meanings. Develop a sunny disposition. Visualize light surrounding the issue at hand. Move to a warmer climate. In the Midwest right here, that is woo. Okay, move to a warmer climate. Spend more time outdoors. A health condition is affected by the weather. My prayer, dear Archangel Raphael, please help me enjoy the benefits of sunshine in safe and healthy ways. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Love it, love it, love it. Now we're going to use the moving into the vortex deck, okay? And there are cards that are just popping up all over the place with their own energy in this. Generally I pull 3, okay, from this, so we'll go with the 3, and they came very quickly. So we'll see what Mama has for us. Number 25, which is a 7, causing pain for others would attract pain to me. And the card says, the flaw's premise, my groups, and in parentheses or brackets, my groups, our group, way of life is the only correct way. Therefore, all other ways must be stopped, is the basis of the majority of unhappiness on your planet. And beloveds, I'm just going to pause for one moment with that and saying, when you're seeing that, when you're in that consciousness, when you're in that state of mind, you're in the mind, you're in the physical mind. You are not operating out of the consciousness of the eternal I. You are operating from ego. You've got your own I am going, and that I am has nothing to do with unconditional love. Not only do those being pushed against feel the pain, but those doing the pushing feel it as well. In fact, the unhappiest, least fulfilled among you are those who are pushing against others, because in doing so, you are disallowing the most important relationship of all, the relationship between you and you. So don't take it personal. In the other card, it spoke of persecution. Don't take it personal when someone is saying, what you mean you got an eternal eye in you? You ain't got no eternal eye in you. Girl, you crazy. Ain't no eternal eye. That just means, as this card is stating, that they have to fight the fact that the eternal eye is within them and that has seen everything that they have done. And they cannot make peace with that their own eternal eye just yet. Don't count them out, because it is a journey that each of us on this planet is on. And each of us have to find it in our own way. All you can do is to keep being the presence of the I am. Keep loving them unconditionally. That requires compassion. That requires empathy. That requires you knowing that you're God, not in the image of, that you're God. And you've got to look at them just like they're God. You're God. And they are God who haven't awakened to themselves, to their God nature, to their God self yet. They're still operating from their mind, from human consciousness, from the lowest stair still. They're making their way. And this is part of the contrast that they need. Whether they achieve that in this lifetime or the next has nothing to do with you. In fact, the unhappiest, least fulfilled, those who we have judged as greedy, those who seem to be the bullies, those who take on the tendencies of needing to be superior, whether that's through race, gender, economics, location, geographical location, whatever it is. They are the least fulfilled amongst us. And they are those who are still pushing against those who are on the path or who have mastered or who are in the process of mastering that eternal I within themselves. And the reason they do this is because this is their way of disallowing or denying or fighting against the I am within themselves. So they're not fighting you. They're fighting the God within themselves. Okay. And so when you grasp that and you are able to look at them with unconditional love, you know that that's just like you being the parent of a teenager, and that you've done everything and loved that teenager and provided for it and given it everything, and all of a sudden it gets those hormones and it says, I hate you. I wish I had never been born. You're not a good mama. Understand that is the same. That is the undiscovered, unexperienced part of that teenager who has not experienced what taking care of another is, who has no idea of that kind of process just yet. And they're just venting. Okay, I'm at 104.01. Let me move on. The next card is number 20, and it is flawed premises can attract true unwanted evidence. If you were to hear a false premise again and again until you yourself began to believe and repeat it, now your own activation of the contradictory vibration would interfere with your sense of intelligence, and you would begin to attract evidence of your belief, in effect, proving the false premise to be true. In other words, Valerie, ain't no eternal I in me. What is you talking about? That don't exist. That's something you made up. All the religions of the world don't say that. And the more and the more and the more and the more that person's put faith and belief in that oppositional force, the mind manifests physical things, situations to verify what you believe in, what you are focusing your attention on. And so it becomes increasingly hard for you to call this a false premise when the evidence seems to be telling you that it is true. For over time, you come to believe it is true. And that has happened in the belief that we are separate from the eternal I. We are separate from that consciousness. Okay? The last card from this is 14, which is 5. Babies are thinking and attracting before they are speaking. Even though you are only months old in your physical body, you are a very old and wise creator focused in that baby's body. And you came with powerful intentions. People often assume that because a child is not yet offering words, the child could not be the creator of its own experience, that the I am, the eternal I is not working in that child. But it is our promise to you that no one else is creating your experience. Children emanate vibrations, which are the reasons for what they attract, even from their time of birth. And I'm going to move forward using the chakra deck. Rejection. And let's see what it says. 107.47. Rejection. Oops. Here we go. Rejection, the ivory tower on 74, which is an 11 as well. The legend. Rejection, ivory tower, they won't use me. The legend. The artist is summoned for jury duty, but they won't use him. He doesn't fit their concept of what a juror should be. He paints pictures no one understands. He lives alone. They want somebody who will put himself in the other guy's place, but he will never do that. He doesn't get mixed up with anything or anyone. They honor his individuality when they invite him, yet when he appears, they reject it by not using him. Inspiration. You don't have to be on the inside track. Be true to yourself and you will not be unhappy. Rejection is spirit's protection. Personal inquiry. Am I working with or against my environment? What is the purpose of my present solitude? Key ideas. Others' approval. Unsupportive environment. Working alone. Arrival of a teacher. Key words. Protection, exclusion, development. Meditation. Imagine divine ivory light filtering down and encircling you. In the distance, the ivory tower beckons. You reach the castle and the drawbridge slowly lowers. You enter the castle grounds and come to the tower. At the top of the stairs is a door. Inside is the place of no judgment. You have finally found your way home. And that is that card, beloveds. And it speaks volumes just on itself. And I am going to, okay, go to the 2012 awakening and see what we have. And page 71. And this is the card that was pulled. And it is this. Okay, and let's see what it says. Condor, purification. 16. Condor, the bone cruncher, has a special place in the next world. He is recognized for his service, that of taking on the purification of the world. Great Spirit acknowledges him for purifying the realm of the living by eating the dead. Condor humbly accepted this undertaking when all others of the bird tribe refused. Many will fear you, Great Spirit told Condor, but when they come to my world, the spirit world, they will find you standing next to me. The condor in myth and in fact has a unique and symbiotic connection to solar forces. In the dew-damp mornings, the birds must wait for the sun to dry their bodies and wings before they can fly. And still, they can't fly until the sun produces the thermal winds that carry them aloft. That is so symbiotic of finding the I, the eternal I, and identifying with it. It is easy to play with words and ideas, but Condor teaches totality. Condor understands that books and symbols cannot ultimately teach us. They are bricks that wall the mind. Condor has the power to consume our words and our symbols in order that we might know a connectedness of being. Condor teaches the sacred wheel of death. The East holds the quick passing of the infant. The South is the mournful death of the child. The West signifies the death of an adult. In the North is the death of an elder or old person. We all must return to the center of the wheel of death, to our own death. Condor knows that all life is on this wheel, and yet he never speaks of it. He has no voice box and never makes a sound. Condor teaches of many kinds of purification. Purification of body, mind, and spirit. Purification begins with forgiveness. Just as Condor cracks bones, he breaks deadlocks. Condor has the power to make way for clarification. Condor doesn't belong to the world of judgment. To look at a situation in a simple and clean way often means to be misunderstood. You go against what is regarded as the common sense of the people. Condor's number is 16. 16 separates all things and brings them to purity. The 16-pointed star is said to be closest to Creator, and so is Condor. Life and death are one to Condor. There is no borderline. Condor circles high and carries a unique vision of our human circumstances. The sky trails of the condor are isolated because of his special gift. He has a difficult job, and he does it. Condor does not kill prey. His survival depends on sighting and consuming the dead. Condor likes thermal currents high in the mountains to spot carcasses. He does not use smell, but instead uses acute vision. He engages the petrification that the rest of the animal world rejects. Therefore, his immune system is highly effective and bacteria resistant. Condor has a wingspan of 9 feet. His feathers are extremely long and efficient, but vulnerable at that length. Bone setters prize condor feathers as emblems of their occupation. Condor does not wear the robes of ceremony, whether the attire is doctor's whites, the sun dancer's skirt, or the monk's saffron vestment, for Condor completes the daunting journey to the land of the dead day after day. Condor engages with little physical aggression within his tribe. Instead, he uses behavior to establish dominance. Condors fly in groups numbering up to 60. Air speeds top out at 55 miles an hour. As the sun heats the mountain air, they fly higher and higher, staying aloft for hours, not beating their wings, but skimming along the thermal pockets. The ancients believed the sun sent radiance to the trees, which in turn produced the winds and gave life through breath. Elders teach that Condor is a symbol of reconciliation as he overcomes duality. By eating the rotten, rejected garbage of death, he lives and thrives. The Condor lives for 80 years. So when we are able to grasp the eating the rotten, rejected garbage of the mind and understanding that we are the eternal I, that is the reconciliation of duality. The flight of the condor casts this divination into a realm where all identity is abandoned. What if you had no religions, cultural, class, ethnic, or even gender affiliation? With no voice, Condor has no song. Ask Condor how to bring purity to your question. Life is a great gift. Condor teaches us to live in the present moment with no dead time. Condor energy can set the tone for your future actions. Condor is chief protector spirit for healers, hospice workers, and those who work leads them to bridge the world of the living and the dead. Emergency personnel, paramedics, police officers, and others who confront serious crises can call on Condor's resilience. It is well to remember that all comes eventually to the altar of purification. It begins in purity. It ends in purity. Let your divinatory question end as it began, in purity. Okay, and last but not least, we have the Isis Oracle deck. Okay. Abundance of Sothis, stellar blessings of the celestial goddess of abundance. And let's see what this card says. Abundance. And this is the first card of this deck, and it is on page 18. And here we go. Abundance of Sothis, stellar blessings of the celestial goddess of abundance. Abundance in many forms is flowing to you now, beloved. Intend right now to receive it. Just decide to do so in your heart this very moment. The oracle of the abundance of Sothis comes as guidance to expect increased flow and to continue your good works of building channels through which abundance can be delivered to you. Freely share your talents, love, wisdom, and self, and enjoy the abundance responsively flowing to you in many forms over and over again. Abundance comes to you now, dear initiate. If you have been through a time of restricted circumstances, materially, financially, socially, in terms of health or relationships, opportunities, fun, or friendship, then this oracle indicates that the tide is turning and an upsurging of wealth, health, abundance, and more are coming to you now. After an experience of restriction, perhaps for a prolonged period, you will very much enjoy this new and improved flow of energy, support, compensation, and reward. And that has been my journey for the last 3 years, has been about restriction. With your heart open, your many channels ready to receive the influx of abundance, and your innate belief that you are worthy to receive, you attract great support from the universe now. Channels for receiving grace in all its forms are created within you. Follow your heart and do your part to be ready and prepared to receive. Preparation is an important part of abundance in all forms, and you can enjoy your abundance to the fullest extent when there are containers for it to be held within. How vast is that eternal eye? Those containers will be practical ways for wealth and other forms of abundance, such as great relationships, to be a part of your world. Your channels might include new creative works being formed, seeking networking opportunities with others in your field so that there are ways for people to find you and the work that you offer, for example, or joining classes or groups that allow you to meet others, following up your intuition or instincts, even in small, seemingly unrelated situations. The containers will be created not only from the practical steps that you take, but from the intention, vibration, and resonance behind them, which means your thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes all count. If your desired abundance is wealth, then start to really shift your identity and thoughts from a place of restriction to a place of relaxation and willingness to take care of your money so that you create a strong container for the flow of abundance to reach you. If you desire a loving soulmate relationship or deeper friendships, becoming more of the person yourself that you wish to experience in others, as well as affirming that you have value and much to offer and are willing and worthy of receiving from others, will create powerful channels through which you can receive the abundance of love and good community that Sothis can bring to you. The goddess of a celestial abundance, shining stellar mother Sothis, will bless you with all you can possibly receive. So allow yourself to act in faith, be brave, and take steps to ready yourself right now. Make sure you harvest your crops to create even more channels through which abundance can flow to you. Clearing out the old, completing and preparing the ripe crops for nourishment. This may mean revising, finishing, and bringing to fruition old projects or deciding to let them go completely if they do not feel right to pursue any further. It might mean seeking fresh input or collaboration on certain projects, or feeling any sadness, guilt, grief, or anger over unfinished projects and letting them go completely. They may be still other projects that you feel in your heart are right for you, but not just now. And so they are released to percolate further in the cosmic womb. With this greater clarity, creative clarity, and organization, your channels for abundance will be clearer and more receptive, and Sothis will have all the more room in which to bless and fill you. This oracle wishes to bring you great blessing. The ritual below will help you move into the best place within to receive it fully. Lie comfortably and close your eyes, focusing on your breath and allowing your awareness to dwell within, deeper and deeper as you relax, focusing on the rise and fall of your belly as you inhale and exhale. Allow yourself to become aware that above you is a great star. It is brilliant silver and magnificent. Feel the energy that pulses around it, nuclear, powerful, and vast. It is crackling with aliveness and potency. Many other planets, stars, and moons are supported by the power of this great star. It feeds them with energy and life as a spiritual sun. Behold, the only thing greater than you. Be aware that you are floating in a silver river of light in the darkest galaxy. Now, heading closer towards this sun, you feel the river of light beneath you, filled with love and power. It naturally guides you towards the star. As you get closer, the river rises and expands, becoming vaster and wider, full of life energy directly from this spiritual sun solstice. Allow the river to nourish you with the perfect balance of cool and warm energies. Feel yourself rising and falling with the natural flow of the river of light underneath and all around your body, holding you firm and safe. Imagine being cleansed by the river, letting go of any energy that is not aligned with abundance, and strengthening all the energies already within you that are aligned with abundance. Breathe deeply in, exhale using your voice to really let go. As you exhale, you release into the river, and as you inhale, draw in its loving power and light. You become aware that the river is merging now with the edges of the star. You must feel such peaceful bliss as the energy of the star of Sothis pours into your being. You feel the beliefs that were incorrect and based in fear falling away, and you see and know things differently. There is no explanation or analysis. There is just deep, heartfelt knowing that all is just fine and there is no need to worry or fear. You are loved. You are safe. You are supported. You will never be abandoned, lost, ignored, or forgotten by the divine. You are not separate from the beauty and light of this great star. You have this within you already. You just need to feel it and remember. Eventually, you feel that you can move on the river of light back towards your life on Mother Earth without losing your feeling of the solstice within. The river flows, and you feel yourself passing through the belly of the star in utter bliss, then through the edges of the star on the other side, peacefully and gently flowing on the river from the star towards the earth. This is the eternal I within and without, and it is being described as Sothis. The river with you in it begins to flow into your life on the earth, emotionally and psychologically, spiritually and physically. There is no part of your life that is not blessed by this river and the light within it. Be aware of the Sothis light in the river flowing into any part of your life that needs more abundance, healing, or prosperity in particular. Allow that part of you and your life to be blessed by the sacred celestial river. Again, it is washing and carrying healing into that part of your life, filling it with sacred healing energy and blessings. Enjoy this feeling for a few minutes, and when you are ready, say, I give thanks to Sothis, giver of abundance and healing, for your generosity, blessings, and gifts of abundance now in all parts of my life. Thank you, beloved, for your nurturing. When you are ready, just open your eyes. You may like to finish your practice with this incantation below. This incantation will help you move back into peace and out of stress if you are worried about lack of abundance and feeling yourself getting caught in a pattern of negativity or struggle. Place your hand on your heart and speak from the heart. Star of Sothis, you bless me with abundance and peace. My wealth on all levels does increase. Through many channels I receive your flow. With wonder and gratitude I watch my wealth grow. I release all fear and doubt that would block your grace. Instead, I focus on your shining, stellar face and realize the love and safety within. The flow of great abundance now does begin. And beloveds, that will be the true ending of this sharing, this transmission, this video, whatever you want to call it. I am so humbled and so thankful um to be able to receive this and to be able to share it and to not only share with you what I received this morning, but the confirmation that was given in the cards to each and every word that was uttered. Um, so, beloveds, it's time. It's that season to awaken to the truth of who you truly are and what your purpose truly is, what the earth truly is, what the heavens above truly is, and that the connection between all of them. Nothing is separate. Nothing is operating independently. We are individuals, but we are also a collective. And in saying that, beloveds, again, I want to thank you. Um, Valerie Ames, Mother with Wisdom, and I'm going to be much more active as I am spirit led to do so. So I'm not giving any plans or saying what I'll be doing. I'll be doing what spirit has me doing. It's as simple as that. So just keep an eye on this YouTube channel. Keep an eye on my Valerie Ames Facebook page. And if there's more going on, you'll be alerted on those two sources of social media. Um, Again, namaste, and I love us all. And beloveds, awaken to the fact and grasp a hold of the fact that you are God, walking, living, breathing God. And that is a lot to grasp a hold of. But once you begin to digest and assimilate that information, everything begins to get easier and easier and easier and easier. And there's going to be resistance against it because it is something that we have not, it's outside of the realm of everything that we know and that we've been told by those who do not wish to have this identity because they'd rather hold on to the mind's energy and the mind's magic and the mind's ability to manifest wealth. But the more who are able to grasp the eternal I, the I am principle, the I am God energy, the lesser and lesser their mind energy will be. So, to thine own self, be true. Know thyself. Aho, ashe, 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 a sun, a moon, and the stars. Behold, the only thing greater than you. Namaste.